The morning sun rolled across the wide, New Mexico plains like molten gold spilled over the horizon, warming the worn boards of Elijah Carter's lonely ranch house. For weeks he had risen early, but today he stood straighter, brushed his shirt cleaner, and tried to steady the eagerness rattling inside his chest, because today was the day his mail-order bride, Clara, was supposed to arrive. He had studied her letters 100 times, memorized her handwriting, imagined her smile, pictured her stepping delicately off a stagecoach with a small bag, shy eyes and hopeful dreams. After years of war, drought, and solitude, Elijah believed this was his second chance at life. As the stagecoach dust cloud grew nearer, he rehearsed what to say. Welcome home. Ma'am, something simple, something honest. But when the coach halted and the driver climbed down with uneasy eyes, Elijah felt the first crack of confusion. She's here, the driver muttered, but not with the tone of a man delivering a bride. Instead, he gestured nervously toward the passenger door. Elijah's heart froze as a massive shadow descended to the earth. First boots, large, sturdy, dust-coated, then long, powerful legs. Then a towering woman, easily twice Elijah's height, stepped fully into view. She was Apache, with long braids laced in turquoise beads, shoulders broad, posture regal, skin kissed by sun and wind, and eyes as sharp and dark as obsidian riverstone. She carried a weathered satchel and a presence so commanding that even the horses went still. Elijah stared, speechless, as she approached with calm, deliberate steps. When she finally spoke, her voice was low but soft. "You are Elijah Carter." It wasn't a question, more like she already knew the answer. Elijah swallowed. "Yes, ma'am. But I think there's a mistake." The towering woman held his gaze without flinching. "There is no mistake. The woman you expected, Clara, is my cousin. She fell ill and could not travel. My family does not break promises, so I have come in her place." Elijah blinked, trying to process what fate had just thrown onto his porch. He had ordered a bride, not a legendary figure carved from the desert, not this force of nature. "My name is Anoki," she said. "I will stay until Clara recovers. Longer if the winds decide so." She said it with honor, not arrogance, and Elijah, despite his shock, heard truth in her words. He welcomed her inside, suddenly aware of how small his cabin felt, how the doorway forced her to duck, how the furniture looked like it belonged in a child's playhouse. But Anoki examined everything with quiet respect. "Your home has honesty," she said. "Many do not." The afternoon unfolded in a strange dance of two worlds colliding. Elijah showed her around the ranch, expecting her to be unsure. But instead she lifted hay bales like tufts of grass, repaired broken fence posts in minutes, and calmed a wild horse with only a whisper. Elijah felt like a clumsy pup in comparison, but her steady presence never mocked, never diminished, only added. That night they ate in silence, lantern light flickering between them. Elijah finally gathered the courage to ask, "Why come all this way?" "You didn't owe me anything," Anoki answered simply. "A promise made by blood is not broken. My family gave their word. I honor it." Her conviction warmed, something inside him, something that had been quietly asleep. As night deepened, Elijah lay awake, realizing his life had just changed in a way he had never planned and maybe never knew he needed. The next morning dawned calm and golden, yet Elijah's nerves buzzed like a guitar string pulled too tight. He stepped outside to begin chores but froze when he saw Anoki already awake, her silhouette tall and still as a mountain under the rising sun. "You begin early," she said. "Ranch don't run itself," Elijah replied with a shy smile. They worked side by side, and slowly Elijah found himself talking more about ranch life, about the land, about his hopes, his disappointments. Anoki listened with a stillness that made each word feel worth speaking. When a rogue stallion reared at her, Elijah panicked, but Anoki walked forward, placed a soft palm on its muzzle, whispered something ancient, and the horse bowed to her like a subject before a queen. Elijah could only stare as she said, "Sometimes strength bows to greater strength," and he wasn't sure whether she was talking about the horse anymore. Around midday, they rested on the porch, sipping water under the shade. Elijah finally asked what had been sitting like a stone in his chest. "When Clara gets better, you'll leave?" Anoki lowered her cup. "That depends," she said, "on what happens here." He didn't understand fully, but he felt something shift inside him. Fear, Curiosity, hope all tangled together. After a long pause, she asked him bluntly, "Do you seek companionship or obedience?" Elijah nearly choked. "Obedience? No, no, ma'am. I just want someone to build a home with. Someone who chooses to stand by me." Anoki studied him deeply. "Then you are not like many men. A home built on truth is a stronger home." Her words landed in him like seeds in good soil. That afternoon, a massive storm rolled across the plains, sky darkening to a violent blue. Elijah rushed to secure the barn, but Anoki was already by his side, lifting beams, tightening ropes, bracing doors with strength that defied nature. Thunder boomed like cannons. Rain fell like stones. But Anoki stood unshaken. Inside the barn, with the storm raging around them, they found themselves standing closer than ever before. Elijah whispered over the thunder, "I don't know why fate sent you, but I'm glad you came." Anoki turned slowly, her braids glistening with rain, her eyes reflecting the stormlight. "In my people's stories," she said, "storms are messengers. They bring what must be faced." Elijah felt courage stir within him. "And what must I face?" he asked. "Your fear of the unknown," she replied. The storm outside crashed and roared, but inside Elijah felt strangely calm. Because she was right, and because with her beside him, the unknown didn't feel so frightening anymore. When the storm passed and calm returned, they walked back to the cabin beneath a sky scrubbed clean by rain. Elijah lit the lantern. Anoki stood by the door, her presence filling the room with quiet power. "You don't owe me anything," he told her softly. "You can choose what comes next." Anoki stepped closer, leaning down so their eyes met. "A warrior keeps her promises," she said, "but she also chooses where her spirit rests." Before settling to sleep, she added, "Tomorrow we speak of our future, not Clara's, ours." Elijah stood frozen, heart pounding, lantern flickering. In that moment, he realized the truth. He wasn't waiting for Clara anymore. He wasn't waiting for the life he thought he should have. A different life had arrived, a stronger one, a wilder one, a better one, and it had come in the form of a towering Apache woman carved from honor and fire, a woman he was beginning to admire, and perhaps something more. As the night settled over the plains, Elijah knew one thing with absolute certainty. His story had only just begun. If you enjoyed this powerful Western tale, full of unexpected twists, deep emotions, and unforgettable characters, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps bring more epic stories to life. And you won't want to miss what happens next in this incredible world of frontier legends, mystery, and heart-stirring drama. Subscribe now and saddle up for the next adventure.